What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome to another episode of Pips and Points. I'm your host, Jono, and yeah, we're going to get into it today. We're going to be talking about NAS, but before I do that, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. I definitely appreciate you all for coming on and supporting. Supporting this channel, what we're doing here, everything. So I definitely appreciate you for that. All right, so we're not going to talk too much about how much I love all of you. We're just gonna get right into the situation in regards to the NAS100. Okay, and this one's actually going to be quite quick, and then we're going to talk very briefly about Euro USD. There was an opportunity that happened yesterday that I said if a certain condition was met, it will be an opportunity to jump in. So I'm going to talk about that opportunity because I think it's still ongoing now. It is still falling, but we're going to, first things first, we're going to talk about the situation, what's going on here with the NAS100, right? So first things first, like I said in yesterday's video, it came above all the way up here, and I said it was going to push down, and it has pushed down, right? It has pushed down, and it looks like it might even push down even further. It might even push down even further. So I'm going to go into a lower time frame, and then we're going to have a look to see exactly what's going on. And we can see, okay, it came up here, it didn't close above, that's what we was waiting for. And then immediately, like literally just after I ended the video, it started to push back down again, right? And what we had the blue, and then we had another blue, so we closed up here, right? And then the following, obviously this is a red, parabolic red, so that's come down, that's all encompassing. And the second candle that we got over here, that too is a red. I know they're all in black, but let's take my word for it. Open up your own chart and take a look for yourself. All right. So at the moment, what we got going on down here is quite interesting. So let's just have a look to see what this really looks like. All right. So this is what this looks like if I was to draw this accurately, as I possibly could. Right. But if we were to say, okay, we're not going to make this accurate, we're just going to stick to what it is. This is how it kind of looks. This is how it kind of looks, yeah? So it's fair to say it has gone into a range, right? So it's gone into a range. It's gone into a range because you can see this price action level here hasn't been breached, all right? And it's just under it right now. And it looks like it might actually be going into something of a squeeze. So you might be getting a squeeze right now, okay? Where it might squeeze. So you might squeeze and then break. But the question is where, because tomorrow there is news coming out as well. So there's going to be news tomorrow that could have an impact into what direction the NAS breaks into. Okay, so what kind of conditions am I looking for? Am I looking for before I even decide to jump in, so that I can ride this train to the upside where it's going to be hugely beneficial and where I have the highest chance of collecting the most amount of pips? Well, first off, like I said, I need a close above this price action level. I either needed to close above it or open and close above it. Both conditions will be fantastic for me, and with that I will then execute obviously a trade into the market, right? But for the meantime, it's not actually doing that at the moment, and it looks like, in my opinion, it's going to push down even further. In my opinion, I think it's going to push down even further, and it might even go lower than what it is right now. Okay, so this also could be another fantastic buying opportunity for individuals that are looking to get the perfect dip. And all that is required of you, to be fair, is just to be patient. That's all you have to do. Just be patient. Don't be an eager beaver. Like just be patient, and you're gonna get the rewards that you're after. Okay, so if you look at this more closely in the hourly format, this has the hallmark of it could be a rising flag. It looks like it could be, right? It could be. It definitely looks it. But however, this lower high is what's made it interesting. So we can see this here is a nice little range that it's gone into, and because obviously this low is higher than this low, it's fair to say that this is somewhat of a rising flag, okay? And rising flags have a tendency to break down to the downside, supposing to the upside. But sometimes they do break up to the upside. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it happens, they break up to the upside, but in most cases they always break down, okay? The main thing to keep an eye on is this particular lower high right here. This lower high right here tells me that there's a very good chance that it's gonna go even lower and then break down, okay? Or, and this is where it gets really interesting, if the shape remains like this, okay, then I have a feeling it's gonna do something like this. Boom, boom, final squeeze, and then shoot up. Right, and then shoot up. So at this point in time, it's too early to tell. But like I say, as long as certain conditions are met, I'll be jumping in. I'm already ready to jump in. Okay, but I just want to make sure that the market does what I'm expecting it to do before I even jump in. Because like I say, I'm going to be riding this for a while once I get in, and the ride all the way up here, I don't have to tell you how healthy that looks. That just looks super healthy, right? And it could do it in a straight move like how I've drawn it, or it could just zigzags, have massive pullbacks and massive push to the upsides. But the main thing is, okay, that it will end up here to create a new higher high. The NAS will definitely do that. And where it is right now, this is where your attention needs to be. Where it is right now, what it's doing right now, and once it does anything to say that okay, it's ready to go to the upside, that is when obviously you jump on. Once again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and please subscribe, okay? So that's it right there. So that's what we're waiting for, and the conditions we're waiting for, it hasn't been met, so we're just gonna sit and wait. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit here and wait, okay? So now that we've gotten that covered, let me get rid of this because I don't want that there, okay? I already have the blue price action level, so we don't need that. Let me get rid of all of these because that's all past tense. We don't need any of these no more. Let's try to keep a nice clean chart going. Aha, and another thing as well that I wanted to add just before we go is I'm going to bring in the fib to see what the fib recommends. So we're going to take the highest point, which is here, and we're going to bring it down to the lowest point, which is here, and we're going to see what the fib recommends. So what the fib is basically recommending is from price point 1433. It's where it would recommend you start taking your buys from, which is a fantastic area because that's the area that I'm originally looking at anyways, but I just wanted to break above. This level right here, and then that will confirm. So the fib, like I said, I love the fib. The fib for me is, when used correctly, can really help you out, but you have to use it correctly. And there's so many, and it's not a tricky thing to get your head around. It's just straightforward. You just drag from the highest point to the lowest point, and then it kind of tells you where you want to go, and these little bars in between is where you can configure it to meet the kind of requirements that you're interested in. So me personally, I've configured it in a way where it works for me. It works for me for entries and exits, okay? Entries and exits, and I'm always looking for 100%. And I'm not saying that that's what the fib produces, but the fib tells me if you're going to get off, this is where you should get off. If you're going to get on, this is where you should think about getting on. That's all the fib does. So it's just recommendation, but when used correctly, it really helps if you know how to look at what it is you're looking at and how to time your entries in. All right, so the fib is giving an indication that that's what he wants to do, which is fantastic. So now we're just going to remove this out of the way, and we're going to continue to wait. So as it sits down here, if you wanted, you could be taking on buy options at this level, but this little structure here, okay, is telling me that this little trend line that I've drawn could get broken, and the shape that it's in tells me that there's a very good chance it's going to break to the downside. It has more pushing down to do before it thinks about pushing up. Now, once again, like, I am not the guru of the market, so I'm not saying this is the definite thing that's going to happen, because just like you, I don't know. This is the best possible guess that I can come up with right now as I'm looking at this situation. And the best possible guess is, I would think that this is going to pull down. Either way, the one thing that I should absolutely do, even though like the information could be conflicting, why the information could be conflicting, because we have the squeeze, which is from here to here, okay, which means there is a probability it's going to push to the upside, but also with it rising at the bottom, kind of gives an indication that it could break to the downside. So the only thing to do in this situation right now is not to rush in, but to wait. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait, okay? Right. So now that we've got the NAS, now that we've covered the situation with the NAS briefly, okay, because not really a lot we can talk about in terms of the NAS. It's covered. You can start loading up buys from now, or you can just wait to see if it's going to give you another low, at which point it's even cheaper. That's my saying, it's even cheaper. If it goes up a little bit, you can still catch it. It breaks above the line, you can get it. So what's the next thing that we want to look at? So the next pair that I'm going to look at is EURUSD, right? EURUSD. Okay, that's right. Exactly what we thought was going to happen is now taking place. Okay, so in one of the videos back, I'm not sure if it was yesterday. No, definitely wasn't yesterday's video, but I think it was Tuesday's video. So Tuesday would have been, what date was Tuesday? Let's have a quick look. What date Tuesday was? Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday the 25th. Okay, I think I talked about it in one of my videos. So you go back and check out that situation. As I recommended what we should do should a certain situation happen, and that situation was this trend line here being broken. So if the trend line here breaks, there's a very good chance it's going to pull to the downside, and this is what it's doing. So right now, this is pretty much a free-for-all. It could zigzag its way, but this is where it's headed. It's heading to this zone right here, which is 1.08. This is where I believe it's heading to, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go down there. It might go there in a straight line, as it's doing right now, or it could zigzag its way down there, and it's going to make its way down to this level. Once it makes its way down to this level, okay, there's only one place it can go after that, and that is it has to go back up again. So literally, all you have to do is either get a couple pips down here. So let's see how many pips this is from here down to the bottom. So that is a drop of 2.9%. So that is 333 pips to the downside. Okay, so you could ride that now. Once we get no financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, please subscribe. Okay, you could ride it down and catch all of that, or you could just wait for it to get down to this level. Okay, or you could just wait for it to get down to this level down here, and then stick in a couple buys and then just leave it, and that's it. You just buy it and just leave it for a couple weeks and see what it goes up to. Let's go to the daily and see what we're looking at. Right, so it makes its way all the way down here. Let's have a look to see what kind of trend we're looking on the upside. So you see how it basically obeys this trend line, and you see the structure here, how this structure is broken. Once it hits this level up here, there's a very good chance from this level it's going to try to go back up here again. There is a very high possibility that's exactly what it's going to do. So you could wait for it to get down here, and let's see the distance between here, how long it took for it to do this. Okay, so that literally is 1600 pips. Okay, that one move that we just drawn over there, and that covered just under a year. Just say 8 months. Okay, so that's what you could do. You could literally do it and just be loading each time it dips for a good couple of months until it reaches up here. That is a strategy. Not a solid set in stone. It's a long-term one, but is one that could work if you have the patience to make it work. Okay, so that's how I will be looking to play this and not be in and out daily. I will just take it on the chin like that, because I'm like, look, it's touched here once, it's touched here again, it's about to touch here for the third time, and it's already touched up here 3 times already. So touch 1, touch 2, and touch 3. Okay, we have the rising wedge, which is broken, to confirm it wants to go down here, and it's literally on its way down here right now. So once it gets down to this level, it might dance around here for a bit, doing a little dance, a little samba, you know, and then it's going to push back up here again. Literally, it's going to push back up here again, and then it might push up here and break through, or it just might push back up here and push back down again. But either way, that's what it's going to do. So that will be my play with the Euro USD, and you'll be looking at that on a long term, like minimum couple months at least. So this wouldn't even be a day. It'll be a good trade. So this trade is worth waiting for, because you can really catch a good vibe with this if done correctly. All right. So what's the next thing that we want to look at? Okay, guys, I need you to put in the comments if you would like me to do analysis on gold or silver. Okay, so I need to know if you'd be interested in videos on gold and silver. All right. So I think I'm going to end the video here, because it's relatively very straightforward what you would need to do, providing you go and double check everything that I'm saying and make sure it makes sense. If you do that part of the work and then decide how you're going to play it moving forward, that is the best advice I could possibly give in regards to this situation. But let me know if you want me to do an analysis on gold, because I want to do an analysis on gold, but literally the engagement on gold and silver from you guys is not really high. I mean, most people are interested in NAS and NAS only. Literally, I've been looking at the analytics on the back end, and you guys are only interested in NAS. So I kind of want to do other things as well, like other currency pairs, but ultimately you guys are my bosses. I mean, I don't necessarily work for you, but I'm getting to the point where I'm literally working for you, because I need you to subscribe. You're subscribing, so I now have to start delivering. And whenever I do a NAS video, you guys subscribe more. And whenever I do just a straight any other video, you don't do anything. So so I want you guys to subscribe, and I also want you guys to tell me what you think I should look at, so I could look at it on your behalf too. All right, I don't mind looking at it for you. I'll look at it, I will give you my honest opinion on the situation. You can then go and do the double checks yourself, and if it all makes sense, then it's a no-brainer. You know what to do and you know how to do it. All right, so with that said, I want to thank you all for coming over and watching another episode of Pips and Points. I truly appreciate you. Destroy the subscription button, destroy the like button, leave a comment as to what you think I should discuss next, what currency pair I should look at. Okay, and we'll look at it, just as long as you don't ask me to look at cryptos, because I don't do cryptos. Cryptos is something else. I have nothing against cryptos, it's just not for me. So if you want me to look at stock, I'll look at that for you. If you want me to look at a currency pair, I'll look at that for you. If you have an index you want me to look at, I'll look at that for you. Just pull it in there. The first one to comment on that video will be getting done tomorrow. I will look at it for you, and I'll give you my honest opinion as to how I would navigate that. Cross-reference the work, see if it makes sense, and if it does, then obviously you know what to do. And once again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please subscribe. So if nothing else to say, thank you very much for coming over. I definitely appreciate you all. So this is the second time I'm saying this, and this is the third time I'm going to say it again now. I definitely appreciate you all. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, and look out for another awesome video coming out tomorrow, the 28th of Jan, where we're going to be discussing more pips, more points. Jono signing out.